So today I want to talk about Call of Duty, specifically Warzone, and why I honestly don't create content on it anymore, and why I also just don't play it in general anymore. If you've been watching my channel for the last couple of years or watched me stream for the last couple of years, you'll know that I kind of started out streaming Fortnite and a lot of Call of Duty. That was literally all I would ever stream. Those were the two games that I thought I was going to be streaming forever. And then Call of Duty just became kind of ass, and then I just fell out of love with it. And here we are today where I hardly touch it. I think since Verdansk came back a month and a half ago, I have maybe 4 hours, if that. That'd be a stretch. And honestly, there's a lot of reasons why I just don't play Call of Duty a whole lot anymore. I want to talk about that a little bit, so we're gonna jump into some games. But here's number one reason why I'm not really playing Warzone as much anymore. If we go right here to Battle Royale, you know, the main game mode, Verdansk, the thing that brought Call of Duty players back to Warzone. If you click on it to play some solos, you can't. You can only play duos and quads, which is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. That is insane that a game that already had solos, duos, trios, and quads, and already tweeted saying that they would not get rid of these modes, gets rid of these modes. It's just insane. Now, the only mode I can play as a solo is Battle Royale Casual, which has bots in it. And I don't want to play bots. I'm sorry, I don't. This next one is kind of partially a reason, but also I understand why it's done. If you go to create a class now, and then you click on the class, if you look right here, they now have advertisements inside the create a class area for bundles that you can buy. Because regardless of how Call of Duty is running, regardless of how good the game is, the one thing we all know that will always work and always be there, the store. The store will always be here for you to buy. And I'll be honest, I understand why they have the store. I get it. It makes money. They can't support the game if the game isn't making money. But there's better ways to do the things that they do. I feel like they are shoving it in our faces, down our throats. When I logged on today, this is the first time I logged on since Warzone Season 4 started. I was hit with 4 different ads for bundles, the event pass, the battle pass. It's like, come on, let me explore this myself, and I will buy it if I feel like I want to. Again, that's not necessarily why I've quit Warzone, because every single game in the world has to make money somehow. That's just an explanation or kind of an example to as why Call of Duty has slowly gone downhill. I'm gonna jump into a game now finally. Sorry for ranting and yapping, but we're gonna jump in to some solo Battle Royale Casual. Let's go. So before I actually land, I just want to say thank you for clicking on this video. You could have clicked on literally any video, but you chose this one, so thank you so much. If you enjoy, maybe subscribe to the channel, join the Discord with the link in the description, like the video to let me know you want more Call of Duty content. Because I will say, even though I dog on this game and I absolutely despise some of the decisions they make, I deep down love Call of Duty. I have this soft spot for Call of Duty. I don't know what it is. I don't know how they do it, but no matter what, I'm always excited for new Call of Duties, for updates for Call of Duty, even though 99% of them are broken and not great in the first place. I still just have this spot for Call of Duty that I love, and I don't know what it is. So while I'm saying right now I don't really play a lot of Call of Duty, that can always change, and I will admit I'll probably never stop playing Call of Duty. I'll definitely be playing less Call of Duty though. I will. Hey, have a good night, Green JPG. I don't play much Call of Duty at the moment. I for sure don't spend any money on Call of Duty. I will admit again, I did spend some money when Verdansk came back because of the hype. You know, I got the nostalgia bait. I got that. It hit me good and hard. And you know, once that kind of wore off, I realized, oh, I'm not really having fun with this right now. All right, see you later. Have a good night. Merry Christmas. All right, I'm gonna pop this UAV, see if there's anyone by me. It feels like weird doing this because, like, I know deep down most of these people are going to be bots. Now, in this game mode, there are actual players as well. I don't remember how many players there actually are. I just know there are a specific number of real players, but most of them are bots. Hey. I don't know why I'm using my SMG there when I could just use this and be good. Yeah, see, that didn't feel good at all. Like, that was clearly a bot. I didn't like that. Good night. Merry Christmas. Okay, so I feel like there's like almost 3, maybe 4 specific reasons why I've kind of moved away from Call of Duty, besides the little ones that I've already talked about. The first one, cheaters. Ricochet anti-cheat, worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It does not work. The amount of times I've been killed by cheaters, the amount of times I've seen clips of people being killed by cheaters, the amount of people I've heard talk about cheaters and all of these things is just unbelievably insane. And I don't play ranked because of it. Like, I avoid ranked because that's where all the cheaters go. So while I am in pubs, I don't get a ton of cheaters, and I'm sure I do, and I just don't realize it. You know, I'm really innocent when it comes to accusing people of cheating. In my head, I believe that everyone is just really good, and I never assume people are cheating, which is a good thing, but also in a way can be kind of bad because, like, I don't know, I don't believe anyone's cheating, even though I can guarantee a million times I've died have been from cheaters. So that is one of my biggest reasons. I cannot understand why people cheat in video games. It blows my mind that there's people that enjoy ruining other people's experiences. If you're watching this video and you're someone that cheats in video games, leave. Literally leave this video right now. Don't ever come back to this channel. You're the worst. I don't care what it is. I don't care. You suck. Leave this channel. Never come back to it, because you do not deserve to have enjoyment in your life, because you take enjoyment away from other people. And it sounds kind of harsh. Don't care. Shut up. Reason number 2 that I kind of leave Call of Duty is there's never any new content. Everything that is new in Call of Duty recently is from old previous games. Now, I will say they did just add a new spot in Verdansk. Hello? They just added this building. This whole building is new, but like really one area, one little tiny building for an entire map. You couldn't have changed anything else. You got one little map change. I get it. It is kind of cool to have things change. And I'm sure this building, I've not been inside of it yet because I have not played this season. I'm sure it's cool. I'm sure it's unique. I'm sure it's fun. But overall, Call of Duty really lacks the content, even when it does appear or seem like they're dropping content religiously. It's all very minor. It's all very pointless content or rehashed content that was removed to just re-add it and say, guys, we have new content. Oh my God, it's new content. And I will admit, I've said that like 400 times. Fortnite has definitely spoiled me when it comes to that. Like, I look at other games and how they drop content, and to me it's laughable. And that shouldn't be the case, because not everything needs to be, you know, having new content every single day. I totally understand it. I think just with Fortnite and how they dropped content every single week, and they still do. I mean, every single week we're getting new things. We're getting new parts of the map. It's insane how they can evolve their game. Is there any like elevator in here? I'm trying to find like an elevator. I saw elevators here before. Okay, I just did not look at the one that was open apparently. Call of Duty just kind of lacks, at least in Warzone, it lacks new content. Again, I don't give a shit about 3 new weapons. I don't. I'm sorry. And the thing is, the weapons that we've been getting in the last couple of days, or nope, the weapons, I'm sorry, I'm mumbling and I can't talk properly without stumbling on my words, so please forgive me. I am reading what this person said. Okay, I don't know. Whatever. Now I've lost my train of thought. I remember what I was saying now. So the last 2 seasons, the new weapons that were brought into the game are all old weapons. And the thing is, I find this to be so... Hello? Hello? I find this to be the scummiest thing in the world, because Call of Duty, I'm not sure if people are familiar with this, but Call of Duty closed the Warzone 1 servers. And when they did that, they said nothing you had purchased is being transferred over. In Warzone, at least. So if you bought weapons, skins, you know, blueprints, all of these things, you lost all of that, especially if you only play Warzone. Now, you could still use those things. Say you bought a skin in Warzone, but that weapon is from Modern Warfare 2019. You can use that stuff still in 2019, but you can't use it in Warzone anymore. And now, for example, the FFAR in Season 4 has returned. I bought so many bundles for that thing when it came out in Cold War era Warzone 1. And they were like, oh yeah, those don't transfer over. The gun's gone, sorry. And now they bring it back and shove bundles down our throats again. And it's like, you literally just got rid of all the bundles that I purchased so you could resell me more bundles. That's just scummy in my opinion. And I don't really know like how to solve that or fix that. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just giving you my reasons why I'm not really playing this game as much. And you might agree with some, you might disagree with some. Totally respect it. Where are you going, buddy? Come on, let's erase you. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Like, it really does feel like all this company cares about is money. And I totally understand. That's every company. Every company cares about money. But other companies do it in a way where it's not as noticeable, you know? Like, I understand they need to make money. I get it. But when the game has all of these bugs, there's cheaters, the game runs poorly, all of these things, and the company themselves are just promoting bundles, it's like, come on, fix the game that you make. Because if you have a great game and the game runs fantastic, I'd be more willing to spend money on a game that runs well. You know, I like, where's our money going towards? Because it's not going towards making the game better. It's making the game worse, if anything. Hey, good night. So the next thing that I want to talk about is meta weapons. Now, every game has a weapon that kind of outshines the other ones. You know, Apex has weapons, you know, for a while it was the P20s. There's always something that is going to be better than the rest. But everything else is usually still pretty viable and you're able to use it. Fortnite. Literally, you can use anything. There's not one weapon that's worse than the others. Now, obviously, you could be bad with some weapons. You could be great with other ones. That's fine. I get it. Warzone, there's always that one weapon that just feels very unbalanced, and it feels like it's on purpose. You know why? You guessed it. Because they're selling blueprints in the store for these weapons. And that, again, if you've noticed a trend here, everything goes back to bundles in the store and blueprints. Every single thing goes back to that. I absolutely hate, if I take 3 weeks off of Warzone, I have to figure out what the next best weapon is because... Damn. All right, I got a real person. I got a real person. Dang, dang, dang. GG's. All right, we're in the gulag. I'm curious to know if the gulag has bots. Like, if this gulag person is a bot as well. Hold on. Okay, it was definitely a bot. It was definitely a bot. I'm glad it was, because now I can talk even more. One of my biggest problems with Warzone, and I saw a lot of comments about this when Verdansk returned, was I don't have my weapons leveled up. I can't compete because my weapons are bad compared to someone who's been consistently playing over and over. And I get it. For someone who's been playing consistently, you should feel like you're at a better standing because you've been devoted to this game. You've been playing it. Totally makes sense. But for new...
The enemy took that one, but we'll get them back.
All right, I'm dead. I got murdered again. Real players. Cool. I'll wrap this up here with Warzone. If you're not familiar, you have to have weapons leveled up to make them better. Whereas in Apex or Fortnite, the weapons are just what they are. Apex, you can find attachments to make them better, but it's all RNG. It's all very luck-based. You can't really make classes like you can in Warzone. And that's where I think it hurts Warzone. Warzone is this game that you have to devote so much time to. Whereas other games, you can kind of just jump on and play. You don't have to worry about what the meta is. You don't have to worry about what weapons are going to be the better things to use, which I guess is just meta. I don't know. I just resaid what I just said in a different way. It's a really strange thing. There's issues with Warzone that I think could easily be solved, and they just don't. I think at the end of the day, Warzone needs to become a standalone thing in Call of Duty. And you have specific weapons that are only for Warzone. And then if those weapons are, you know, feeling stale or old, you remove those weapons and change them to other weapons. But say you purchase skins or things, they work with other weapons as well. I think universal skins and universal bundles would be fantastic for this game, so you don't feel like you're wasting your money. You get all of these things regardless of if a weapon is removed or if this thing is taken away. It just makes sense to me. Maybe that's stupid, I don't know. But we had this issue in Warzone a while back where so much stuff was in the game, it started to run poorly. That's why they turned off Warzone 1, made Warzone 2, was a complete disaster. It just was not fun. And that's what Call of Duty always does. We go forward, we make improvements, and then we just erase all of it. We just remove every single good thing that was made, that made Call of Duty good. We remove it, become terrible again, and then it's just a never-ending cycle, and I've just given up. I just don't care anymore. I can enjoy other games. I still enjoy Call of Duty, don't get me wrong. I will still be playing this game. I will still be, sadly, probably buying the next Call of Duty because I do genuinely like the campaigns. And Zombies is pretty good. Zombies, I will give. Zombies is usually pretty fun. But yeah, those are just some of the reasons why I just don't really play Call of Duty anymore. I had a few people ask me, you should play Call of Duty. You should stream it. Why don't you play it anymore? Here you go. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this person's sniping at bots. Other than that, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another video.